Hey guys, welcome to 2021. I can't even believe I'm saying that. It feels like the last year was an absolute blur. I've been sat on this living room floor now, recording these videos since May last year, I think now, and I am so honoured that so many of you have chosen to join the channel, chosen to follow, watch these videos, and it's amazing to think how much I've been a part of so many of your wedding plans. Last year was just so crazy. We never expected it. We didn't know what was happening week to week. We didn't know where we were going. And I hope that some of these videos and some of the things that I've helped you through have really supported you in these plans, taken some of the stress off at points and given you a little bit of wedding enjoyment. So I am so excited to move into 2021 and continue these videos for you. I have had the last 2 weeks off, mainly because things just got a little bit mad behind the scenes, but I'm back now and we're going to give you a regular video every single week this year. So whether you're a new bride who's just got engaged and you're just joining me for the very first time, or you're a veteran from last year, you've stayed with us, you've maybe postponed your wedding or been waiting for your wedding to come along in 2022, I am so excited to continue this journey with you. So today, to start the year, I thought I'd do a bit of a roundup of 2020. I have been asked so many different questions in my DMs. I have been asked so many things on my videos in TikTok and also in the comments on my YouTube videos. And there's always a set theme. There's always the same questions I'm being asked. So I thought I'd round them up in this video and give you the 10 top questions that I get asked all the times and the best answers I can give you to help you out. So I'm sure we've met before, but if you're brand new, my name is Beth and I'm a professional wedding planner here in the UK. I run my YouTube channel and my online bride club membership alongside my one-to-one business in the planning world to give you all the hints, tips, secrets and stories into the industry that I can. I sit here each week on my living room floor and share with you all my secrets and stories, and I can't wait to continue doing that even more in 2021. So it's time to sit down, relax, enjoy a little bit of wedding content, and I'm going to share with you my top 10 questions that I've been asked last year and all my answers to help you in your wedding planning journey. So these questions are coming at you in absolutely no particular order. They're going to jump all over the place. So grab yourself a bit of paper and a pen and make sure you write down the answers to help you in your wedding planning journey. Number one. How do you get started? Getting started can sometimes feel like the hardest obstacle when it comes to wedding planning. It's actually moving from your dreams and chats and talks and wonders about it to making a decision and moving forward. And the best way to do this is communication. Make sure you and your partner are singing off the same hymn sheet. I did a whole video covering this topic right back when I started the channel, so I'll link it up above for you to go and have a look at. But before you even get started with booking suppliers, you've got to work out what the things are that are most important to you on your wedding day. Work out your guest list so you actually know how many people you're having. Don't go and book your venue before you've done that, as you might book the wrong size. You can't go and book things and furniture and do your budget until you know how many people. Next thing is you're going to want to start looking at how you imagine your day, creating your mood boards, looking at inspiration, and lastly you're going to want to look at your budget. So make sure you go check that video out to see all the details around that. Number two, jumping into a bit of a food question, because I get asked a lot of food questions, is how do you serve the food when it comes to more a buffet, relaxed barbecue style, that sort of thing, as there isn't table service. And I noticed a lot last year that so many of you are moving away from that more traditional sit-down meal to have more self-service, buffet, barbecue style meals. Now when it comes to this, it is tempting to just not even think about it and just let everybody go and help themselves. And that can be a little bit chaotic and leave people waiting an awful long time for food. So how I suggest you do it is make sure you do it table by table no matter what, and call up each table at a time to go and get their food, go and sit down, and the next table come up, and it keeps things really, really quick and organised. So no matter what style of food you're doing, even if it's super relaxed seating and super relaxed service, make sure you're at least signing people to a table and you've got some sort of table plan so you can do this and make sure everyone gets fed nice and quickly. Number three on the list was a big one. So I asked a question out on my Instagram a while ago, and I also asked this as my brides who join the bride club come into the membership to find out what they find most hard with wedding planning. And so many answers at the end of 2020 where I really struggle with motivation and getting excited for my wedding day, mainly because 2020 was so difficult with wedding planning. You weren't able to go and see friends and family, have engagement parties, you haven't been able to go and meet suppliers, go around venues. haven't been able to go to wedding fairs, all these sorts of things. So keeping the motivation up and excitement can be really, really hard. My biggest suggestion for this is to not constantly feel like you have to be excited every second and every moment. Wedding planning will come in ups and downs. It will sometimes feel like you've got lots on and lots of fun things to do, and other times it will feel like there's not much you can do and you feel like you're on a bit of a downer of it and you're not really doing anything bridal. That is okay, and that is totally normal. So don't feel like you've got to be doing something every single second. But guaranteed, if you've got engaged recently, you do want to be doing something and you do want to be having some fun towards it. So whilst we're stuck in a little bit more, see if you can plan little projects to do, things to make. There are so many amazing ideas over on Pinterest and all over the internet on various wedding blogs. So make sure you go and check them out. I also run my Bride Club membership for this very reason, as I just wanted to give a place where each week a bride could sit down and enjoy having some new wedding content and something exciting to look at. So if you're looking for that sort of thing, Bride Club will be opening in a few short weeks. Head to the link below and sign up on our waitlist to be the first to hear when that opens. Number 4 on the list, how many songs do I need to choose and pick to walk down the aisle? Now, this is again a very random question in my mix of things today, but it is very dependent on how long your aisle is. Some people have quite a short aisle. It might be that it's a traditional church or a traditional wedding venue or reception, registry office, that's the word I'm looking for, where it's really just entering the room and a short walk. How I work it out with brides is kind of look at how many people you've got to go down the aisle and how long that's going to take. With your bridal party, they usually go before you, and I usually say let them get at least halfway down the aisle before you send the next one. So that should give you a little bit of an indication of how long you need. We do this purely because a photographer wants to get a shot of every single person going down the aisle, and the last thing we want is them all to pile in and be obstructing each other for the photographs. So always make sure that there's a little bit of a gap, but don't leave it too long, as it can feel quite stagnant and people are like, is the bride coming? When's she arriving? What's going on? All that sort of thing. When it comes to your own entrance, you want to make sure that the person who's gone down before you has completely cleared the aisle. They've made their way down to the bottom, they've gone off to one side, and it's purely for you. So think about that, think how long your aisle is, think how many people you've got to going down before you, think how long that will take with them being a little bit staggered but not too much, and think how long it will take for everyone to clear the aisle before you make your own entrance. Most of the time, I usually say a single song is more than enough for this. So if you're having a track that's pre-recorded, you've just got someone pressing play, one song should be enough. But if you've got a little bit of a longer aisle, you may want to do one song purely for your wedding party to go down, and then one song purely for you. It's totally up to you, but sometimes you do 2 different songs, or maybe you just want to repeat that same song if it's particularly special to you. If you've got live musicians, then you do not have to worry quite so much, as they will just keep repeating the song until they see you've arrived at the end. So there's a few different ways to look at it, but it's really simple, really straightforward, and don't overthink this part. Number 5, a big one, and it comes from people all the time. How do I get everyone to be on the same page as me, to support me, not try and put in their own ideas and just let me do my own thing? This is a really tough one, and every family situation is going to be so different. But what I'd say is, know that you're not going to please everyone. Not everyone is going to love your ideas. Not everyone is going to love your taste in food. Not everyone is going to love the music that you've chosen for your evening party or love your wedding outfit for the day. It's just impossible. But as long as it's you, and it's you as a couple, then you know that you're doing the right thing. So yes, you want everyone on side, you want everyone to look forward to it, but don't try and please everyone, because you really won't. And if you do something else to please someone, you might regret it, because it's just totally not you. So try and be strong with this one. It's a really hard one. I totally sympathise, but do you, and you can never go wrong. Number 6 on the list, how do I pick my suppliers and how do I know who's the right one? Because there are just so many out there. And I get this a lot, especially with the brides in Bride Club, just saying how many and the pure volume of suppliers that are out there, they just can't narrow it down. They don't know how to choose. How do you know who's good and who's not good? And yeah, it's a lot, and there is an awful lot of suppliers out there. What you've got to think is there will be a lot of suppliers that are perfect for you. There will be loads of really good ones, and at some point you've just got to make a choice. So I always say with couples, chat to your venue, see who's recommended at the venue and knows the venue, because that can be a really good starting place. And obviously speak to any friends or family members that have got married. Who did they use? How did they find them? Can you see examples of what they did? Wedding fairs, online directories are really great places to start. or you can start stalking people on Instagram and drill into each wedding that they do and see if there's suppliers that they always work with. You'll end up finding little networks of suppliers that are constantly together, and it's really great if your suppliers know one another because they'll be able to talk and interact on the day, which just makes everything so much easier for you. So there is no easy way to do this. There is no one suits all, but take your time with finding suppliers, especially the key ones like photographers who are going to be by your side throughout the whole day. You want to make sure you get the right one. And if you're wondering how to search for photographers, I've got a whole video on that I did recently in the link above, so go and check that out. But you can spend your entire life searching, researching, finding new ones. You will always find new people who are more amazing. You will always find suppliers that are different, but at some point you've just got to book. So go with your gut. When you find someone that you click with, someone that's within your budget, go make that call, speak to them and get them booked in so you don't miss out. Number 7 on the list, what do I put on my invitations to make sure that just the guests I want are invited? Whether you're inviting plus ones or you're inviting children or anything like that, and you just really want to make it clear that it's only the parents that are invited, or maybe it's only that friend and they haven't got a plus one. How do you put it on the invitation without appearing rude? And really, you just need to be straightforward. You just need to put the names of the people that are being invited on there. If you don't know names, if someone's with a new partner, you haven't met them yet, but you're really happy to have them invited, just contact that person, ask them, what's your partner's name? Go on their Instagram, go on their Facebook. I'm sure you can find it out pretty quickly. But putting names on invitations makes it so much easier and clearer, and people know exactly who's invited. When it gets really confusing, if you just write to the Joneses, and what you just mean is mum and dad, but you did not mean all the children as well. By writing to the Joneses, you're kind of implying you're inviting the whole family. So with invitations, don't overthink it again, just make it really, really clear and people should understand. Number 8, sticking with the invitation sort of theme, but talking about gift lists, how do you ask for money instead of gifts? Again, make it obvious. When it comes to wedding etiquette, usually you don't put this on the invitation, you would put this on more of a wedding website, and it kind of comes across nicer if the first thing that they see isn't give us your money. So what I always suggest is pop it in your wedding website, put a tab on or a page on your website that just says gifts. When they click on it, you can put some sort of nice poem. I did do a whole video on gift lists if you want to go and check it out. Again, I'm going to link another video on here. But just make it really simple, make it really nice, and telling them what the money will go towards. Maybe it's a honeymoon, a home improvement, a certain activity the two of you want to do, can be a really nice way of doing it. Number 9, let's talk about drinks. Do you have to provide every single drink for your guests on your wedding day? Big answer, no, you do not. It is not expected. Maybe back when our parents were getting married, the older generations, we did have all-inclusive bars, open bars, whatever you want to call them. Nowadays, that doesn't tend to happen, and it's totally okay to ask guests to pay for their own drinks on the wedding day. So if anyone tells you otherwise, I promise you, I'm here to say, someone who's been to over 300 weddings now, run 300 weddings, I have only been to a handful where people have actually paid for all the drinks. So don't stress about that and don't overthink it. It can be really nice to provide some of the drinks on the wedding day, but if you don't want to and it's not in your budget, don't stress about it. It is okay if you can't afford it. And number 10, last one I'm going to finish with, is another question that so many of you sent me in my private DMs, and that is, I'm really shy in front of the camera and I'm really not confident. How do I build some confidence on the day because I want to love my photos? The number one thing in this is obviously getting a good photographer. A photographer that is going to make you feel really confident, knows how to get the best out of people, and is going to direct you on the day if you're not used to being in front of the camera. A great way to practice as well in advance if you want to do that is by booking an engagement shoot. This is where you spend about half an hour, maybe a couple of hours, depending on the photographer, with them, taking some photos and having kind of a practice shoot, which you've then got photos you can use for your wedding website, your invitations, maybe on the day and things like that. So if you're nervous, please don't be. These photographers work with couples all the time that are not used to being in front of the camera. So find a good one, find one that makes you feel so comfortable, have a practice session, engagement session, and see how you feel about it, and then you'll feel super confident on the day. Okay, that's it, my 10 most asked questions from last year, and I really hope if you're in the middle of planning your wedding or maybe you're right at the very beginning, that's really helped and given you a few little hints, tips and insights into the things that you might need to be thinking about for your wedding day. If you're really new to the channel and you've just got engaged, I would love to know when your wedding's coming up and if you've started planning at all. So drop into the comments and let me know when it's planned. There is a whole host of videos on here for you to go and watch, so get stuck in and go and have a little look, and I hope it helps you start your planning journey. Make sure you give this video a like before you finish, and also make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Yes, we didn't reach our goal by the end of the year to hit 1,000, but we are so close now. So if you haven't done already, please help me hit that little goal, and yeah, I hope I get to there soon. But as always, thanks for watching. I will see you on another video very soon. Bye guys.